Welcome to the September 2025 energy reading. My name is Melanie Santos. I am a multidisciplinary sacred artist who uses many mediums to talk about mind, body, spirit, well-being. And yeah, thank you for being here. If this is your first time here, I hope that you enjoy this reading. In these types of readings, I basically go through the cosmic energy of the moment and of the month and really try to communicate what opportunities we have. When I think of the cosmos and the way that they're being spoken about, it's gone down this road of chronic neediness is what comes up, and just this like dread. And it's just like, these are opportunities. The cosmos and the universe are always offering us opportunities to heal and to expand and to release, and this month is definitely one that's going to present us with opportunities of all of those kinds. So we're going to go through that in a second, and then we're going to pull some oracle cards and see what the universe, what spirits, whatever you want to call higher power, has in store for us this month. A very quick announcement. If I were you, I would subscribe to my newsletter. I'm going to leave the link here, and I'm going to leave a link in the description box for you to sign up, because I have a lot of stuff cooking up for September. I think September is a really big month of rebirth, for me included. I have been nesting. If you follow me on social media, I haven't been on there in over almost a month, and it's because I've been... First of all, I take a social media break every single summer. I think it's really important to step away as an artist so I can be in my own juices. But I've also been nesting a lot. You might see I don't have a manicure, and and when I hold up the cards, you may see some like spackle and like paint and caulking on my nails, and it's because I've literally been doing so many home projects, this being my nest and my creative incubator. But I've truly been nesting, and I think it's in preparation of this rebirth that I am personally and professionally undergoing. So if I were you, I would subscribe to my newsletter. So I'm going to leave the link here, and I'll see you there. I'm sending an email today. Now, without further ado, let's go through the cosmic energy of this month, the new moon, the full moon, and the eclipses, because we are in eclipse season, like all the way in eclipse season right now. And there are so many opportunities for us to shut the up and allow life to release for us. I know that's like already hitting a nerve with some of you who are watching this right now, but this month is really, really important. I am going to release this month a video on how I reset my entire life, including my home, for the change of a season. Because not only are we in eclipse season, and we're going to go through the new and the full moon eclipses and what they have in store, but we're also shifting into autumn in the northern hemisphere. If you're in the southern hemisphere, you're shifting into spring. But we are on September 21st or 22nd, shifting into the autumn equinox, and that is a shift of season. And as the seasons shift, we should as the seasons shift, we should shift to, wow, a tongue twister, we should shift to. So I'm going to be uploading a video here on my channel about how I change my life with the seasons and why, and how that really helps me in how I live an intentional life. So look forward to that. But September, looking at my notes, I have a lot of notes. We begin the month in the depths of Virgo season. If you have found yourself bitten by the Virgo bug, it's not a real thing, but that's what I call it, because as soon as Virgo season hits, I am like deep thrust into like deep cleaning my physical spaces and my mental spaces. So I have been like nesting, doing projects at home, and also really deeply journaling, like really deeply in my practice, in my sadhana practice, in my meditations, like really like down in there to give me the perfect conditions to refine, to get rid of what no longer is in alignment with this path, and to prepare myself for the next season. So we're going to talk about the shift from Virgo into Libra, and also what this eclipse season is all about. The first eclipse that we're going to feel, if we're not already feeling it, which we definitely are, is a full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. Pisces is a mutable water sign ruled by Neptune, the planet of spirituality, of illusions, of delusions, of the subconscious. Pisces is also the last zodiac sign, and it rules the 12th, the final astrological house of endings and subconscious and like behind the scenes workings of our life. Now, if you're not familiar and you have not watched my free and amazing masterclass and checked out the notes on my website. What are you doing? Please click on it, especially if this is your first time here. Hey, that's my dog telling you to watch the video. Are you kidding me? Now, if you haven't watched it or you need a refresher, eclipses are major cosmic events. They happen when the planes of the sun and the moon meet at two cosmic points in space called the lunar nodes. Okay, the nodes shift about every 18 months. Right now, the lunar nodes are in both Pisces and Virgo, meaning the eclipses that we're going to be experiencing right now in this month of September are in Pisces and Virgo. Put very simply, a north node eclipse sort of denotes what we need to come into, or like if something is released, it's because we need to come into something in our life. And then a south node eclipse has to do with like releasing and like truly releasing a part of our identity in order to also come into something. It'll make more sense if you watch the video, watch the masterclass. It's free. And so with the north node in Pisces, this planet of, or this sign of spirituality and illusions and dreaming, right? This lunar eclipse being one about releasing in order to come into, we are really given the opportunity to release these like little dreams and like little goals and come into bigger manifestations. It wants us, or like gives us the opportunity to release like overextending ourselves, to like stay holding on to a certain dream that just like isn't really in alignment with who we are, our energetic signature, and what we're here for, our purpose on earth. And instead, again, dream bigger. Like have like radical empathy for the fact that you need to spiritually surrender to your path. Listen, that sounds crazy. I am currently going through this in my life right now, and I'll talk more about that somewhere else. It can be a really painful process, but Pisces is there for that. Pisces is next to Cancer, and I know all about that, being somebody who is mega ruled by Cancer, but Pisces is there for feeling the emotions. And so give yourself time to like rest in spiritual surrender during this Pisces eclipse is what's coming to me. Truly, you need really radical empathy for your path right now, and for what's being presented to you in your path right now, and for what's being taken from your path right now. Because eclipses, truly, when I think of eclipses, I think of the cosmos as like having different personalities, and it really comes through every couple seasons to like snatch away what doesn't need to be there. Like it's like a cosmic colonic. And so lots of radical empathy, lots and lots of nurturing and giving yourself what you need so that you can flow through that emotional moment, and that it's not as rocky as it can be without the nurturing. This eclipse is showing us where we can expand. So here are some journal and reflection prompts that you can work with. What illusions am I still attached to that I need to allow myself to be released? What grief have I been avoiding that needs space to flow? And grief can be connected to so many more things than losing someone. It could be losing a part of your identity, something that's been part of your identity for a long time. That is grief too. Where have I confused escape with healing? Big one. Where have I confused escape with healing? Even some of the things, tools, practices that we associate with healing, we can be using as an escape. Everything can be used as an escape. This is why, and this is coming to mind right now just because it's usually, to me, the most attacked in the new age spiritual space is like yoga, right? Yoga can be abused. Religion can be abused. Like anything that you use for healing can be abused and can be used to fulfill your escapist tendencies. Like staying home and because you're setting boundaries can also be used as escapism. This week, I'm having to tell myself in the mirror, it's time to go out into the real world, because I'm sort of like reaching the point where it's no longer a social media break, and now I am crossing the threshold into, no, I'm just trying to escape the work that I'm here to do. And that's just me being honest with you so that you don't feel so alone in the treacherous journey that these eclipses are presenting us with. But they are so necessary and so important. Some more reflection prompts. What emotional weight is no longer mine to carry? Where am I being invited to forgive? Not for them, not for those people, but for my own peace. What endings do I need to honor so that I can finally exhale? Okay, think of this lunation, think of this eclipse on the 7th. Little bird is looking at me on my balcony. It's just staring. Think of this eclipse as stretching your emotional and your mental boundaries. I was gonna say barriers. That's maybe a Freudian slip, but like, yeah, there's no barriers. Like, take the barriers away, have the boundaries instead. Instead of having the wall, create a fence so that whatever is necessary, formless, subtle energy can pass through, but the very heavy, dense cannot. I hope that makes sense for you, because it's making sense as it's coming to me in a vision right now. But like, remove the walls, create the fences, so that whatever needs to pass through can pass through, and whatever needs to be released can be released. Okay? Big, big, big time healing energy with this full moon eclipse in Pisces. I want you to think about release, think about culmination, think about illumination, think about emotional truth, spiritual closure, boundless grace, empathy, and compassion, especially for self and also especially for others. Because just try to remember that when you're in your deepest, darkest moments, there are other people around you who are also in their deepest, darkest moments. We have no idea what's going on in the lives of others. And so just have so much compassion, so much compassion, and really be keen and aware of the ways that you try to escape. Then on September 21st, we are feeling the full effects of a solar eclipse. This is a new moon eclipse in Virgo. And this is right on the heels of the sun switching from Virgo season into Libra season, which we're going to talk about in a second. So both the sun and the moon are going to be in Virgo. So it's just like a full blast of like, hey, this got to go in order for you to reach this new beginning type energy. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, planet of communication that also rules Gemini. I'm going to talk about that. But it is this sign of like refinement and purification and discernment and structure. It is ruled by the 6th astrological house of like our daily practices, our daily structure of functional healing, integration. So when we talk about a solar eclipse in Virgo, we are specifically we're talking about like a faded beginning. Yes, new moons always talk about like beginnings, and like we shouldn't be doing work with eclipses, and I'll talk about that at the end. I'll give you a reminder at the end. We shouldn't be like manifesting or doing any rituals and things like that. But normally on a new moon, we would set intentions to manifest. With the solar eclipse in Virgo, like we are talking about beginnings, and like it's sort of giving us this opportunity to reach the beginning that we've been asking for, but it usually comes through with like a hard cut. Think about like receiving like clarity that you've been asking for, but maybe in a way that like you maybe, I don't know, you don't like, or like maybe you aren't prepared for, and hopefully you give yourself what your nervous system needs in order to sustain the changes that are going to take place during these eclipses, or the realizations that you'll have. I want you to really know that with these like big realizations comes collapse. And so the South Node is in Virgo, so until like July of 2026, these energies are going to be inviting us to release deeply. Specifically for Virgo, this has to do with perfectionism, like performing, period. Think about like over-analyzing, just showing up and performing instead of being embodied, like actually existing in your authentic truth and your authentic essence in order to like make sure that you're like playing the perfect part so that these manifestations will come to be. And it's not at all what it's about. And so these eclipses, especially this Virgo eclipse, comes through to sort of snatch away and like put you in the mirror and show you where you are performing and where you aren't showing up in the perfect existence that you have been given to be and exist in on earth. I don't know, I'm saying that in a weird way, but that's the way that it's coming out. So Virgo asks, what systems are you still clinging to because they feel safe, even when they've become suffocating? And you may not even notice like what systems have become suffocating to you. And this is the time to like sit and review. Where has hyper efficiency and the hamster wheel of life replaced real healing, like necessary nurturing in your life? What do you need to allow to break? This one is so important because as human beings, we see the breaking happening and we just like try to patch it up with something. Especially the spiritual girlies. We try to like, oh no, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to go get a reading. I'm going to just let it break. And I often, as somebody who does readings, and yes, I am offering alignment sessions until further notice, and that's something that I feel like is going to be changing very, very soon. But I'm still offering alignment sessions, and one of the things that I often have to do is be the bearer of bad news. Like, people come to me and they expect me to tell them like, yes, this is going to be sustainable for you. This is going to be great. Keep going. And I often have to tell them to just allow something to break so that the next thing can come to be. So that what's truly meant to be in this thing, person, idea, habits, place, job, whatever, place can come to be. This is a moment to simplify, okay? Not to shrink, but to become very, very precise about your energetic output and your energetic input. What kind of energies are coming into your life and why? Be very, very intentional. And what kind of energies are you putting out to really, really live your life day by day? This has been coming to me a lot lately, and I definitely think it fits in this reading right now, is like living your life day by day and not going by your emotions or like how you feel about something in the moment, but more so looking towards the future. Not so much so that you're forgetting about the present, but sort of striking a beautiful balance that will end up leading us into Libra season, because Libra season is all about harmonizing and balance, but letting Virgo, and this is what's been happening all month long since the end of August, but allowing Virgo to help us refine so that we can show up in the next season and harmonize with the energy of our existence and of our path so that we can truly be in alignment. Some reflection prompts, some other reflection prompts that I wrote down are: what outdated routines or beliefs about doing it right am I ready to release? Again, performing. Let's stop the performances. How can I create sacred structure that supports my life, that supports my softness, that supports my sustainability, that supports my health, that supports my insert word here? What do you need support with? And what kind of daily structures and habits can you create or truly cement so that you can be the best you possible? Spoiler, I have a devotion lab right now where we do collective practices together, and the next one is going to be dedicated to structure, to sacred structure. It's going to be the Sacred Structure Lab, where we're going to be dedicating ourselves to 22 days. Not 21, but 22. It takes 21 days to make a habit. Sirens for celebration. Yes, I love this one. We are currently finishing our Radiance Lab. Those who are in the Radiance Lab know. God, so much noise. So much noise for emphasis. I hope y'all join, but we're completing our Radiance Lab practice, which has been insane and gorgeous and beautiful in all the ways, and we're going into this Sacred Structure Lab that aligns with the shift from Virgo season into Libra season, that aligns with this autumn equinox energy. And so with this new moon in Virgo eclipse, I want you to think about initiation. This is a time of initiation, of sacred structure, of discernment, of functional devotion. Not just devotion that's just all crazy. Make it work for you. Make it work for you. Make it work with you. Work with your devotion and divine simplicity. And lastly, let's talk about the sun's shift from Virgo into Libra, bringing us from Virgo season into Libra season on September 22nd. Now we shift from this earth sign of Virgo into this air sign of Libra. Libra ruled by Venus, planet of love, beauty, money, relationships. Libra, we move from like inner calibration and like refinement to relations. How we are in relation to everything in our life. How we are in relation to other people. How we are in relation to our money, our comfort, and most of all, how we are harmonizing. And so I think of Virgo season giving us the opportunity to refine and release and review and really just like give our life sacred structure, right? With the clarity that we've received from the seasons before that. And we move into Libra season and allow ourselves to harmonize as this new sort of I don't want to say new version of ourselves, because it's not like we're creating new versions of ourselves all along, but we're refining, and we are showing up as a new version of ourselves every single day. And so we go into Libra season, which ends up ushering us into the final seasons of the calendar year as well, ready to sort of harmonize with the habits, the new habits, the behaviors, the new ones that you cultivated, the ones that stayed, the visions, the relationships that exist in our life. Again, this is not a season of perfection. This is about harmonizing, about being in equilibrium, about balancing. And so with balance, you sort of need to add and release, continue to add and release. If your scales are tipping, you need to add and release in order for things to be in balance. And so we're continuing with this energy of being like aware and really paying attention. Now, to finish this off, some guidance that I received from my spirit guides as I was going into this energy reading is to truly, truly listen. And they wanted to point to the eclipse in Virgo and like the time, like the end of the month as we are shifting from Virgo into Libra season. They said to truly listen. Again, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is a planet of communication. They said sometimes our expressions are performances, especially if we are perfectionists. And it's sort of putting it in another way, putting what I've already said in another way. But sometimes our expressions, both verbal and energetic, are performances. That may not align for some of you. Some of you may be like, I'm the realist. And even that, like you expressing yourself as your most authentic, may also be a performance. Sometimes you may have been in a certain role in your life have played a certain role in somebody else's life for so long that you don't know how to be anything other than that. You've been in a certain role at a job, in a certain role that you've played connected to a behavior, a habit, a mindset for so long. A certain role, a certain identity that you don't know how to be anything other. And so allow this eclipse season to truly give you the opportunity to stop performing, okay? The lunar eclipse in Pisces brings a tide of endings, emotional reckoning, and intuitive reawakening. And then the solar eclipse in Virgo offers that clarifying cut, okay? A faded decision point that reorders our path forward, okay? This is the axis of true healing, and which is really, really beautiful because we are nearing the last quarter of the year, the last quarter of the calendar year, where it's truly a season of like wintering and coming inside and truly like reviewing as we restart the year in 2026 and we end the energetic year with Pisces season in March of 2026. So it's a whole thing, and I'm always trying my best to remind you of the shifting seasons and how we should be shifting with the seasons so that we don't feel stuck, so that we don't feel out of alignment, so that we don't feel confused. At the very least, we know what opportunities the cosmos are offering us. With that, let's go into the reading. We're going to start off with the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue, my oldest tried and true deck. There's so much noise outside. I'm so sorry for any of the honking that you hear. Let's see what energies and reminders our spirit guides, our benevolent ancestors, spirit has can offer us for what this month has in store for us. Beautiful. We have the card Mother Mary, expect a miracle. Expect a miracle. Have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. The number one thing that is coming through with this is like you may be celebrating, oh my God, finally my miracles are coming. Yes, but they may be coming 99.9% sure that they may be coming in the form that you didn't ask for them in. And this is the only reminder that I'm getting right now. Okay, expect a miracle, but know that it's going to be coming in a way that you did not think, and maybe you may not even like. Okay, so for instance, I've been having conversations with people. A lot of them are losing their jobs right now. I think in like the career world, it's called like the great something that happens in September where people are laid off and new people are hired. I don't know. But a lot of people are being laid off or being fired or losing their jobs. And I am seeing the spiritual opportunity for these people to go into a new role and possibly have to create it for themselves because it doesn't yet exist. And so seeing even your hardest moments, your hardest breakthroughs, your hardest tower moments. I think about that. I'm seeing the tower card, tarot tower card, the crumbling, right? Seeing the crumbling as an opportunity to rebuild what you really want. Maybe you've been in this shabby life that you've just been expecting and performing, that you like it and you love it, and having your little vacations and doing your drinks on the weekends and trying to enjoy what you have because you have it. Great that you've been having that attitude of gratitude, but now it crumbles, and now what? Are you going to crumble with it, or are you going to take this as an opportunity to create what you want and see this as a miracle? That's all I got for you with that one. Okay, really, really seeing the crumbling that is happening in your life and that's going to be happening with this eclipse season as the miracle that you've been asking for, and really seeing yourself as the alchemist that you are. An alchemist is able to take the properties of what they have and shift it into something that they actually want and that is favorable for them, and in turn creating something and shifting into a role and into identity, into life that they absolutely love and adore, right? That feels in alignment with them. And maybe you don't love and adore it in the moment, and that's okay too. I'm telling you that because I'm in the space of that right now. Sirens for emphasis. Of like being the alchemist, yes, part of that is like really painful. I'm having to grieve identities and parts of myself that I've known forever that I cannot take with me, and that's fine. And also grieve the fact that I got to do shit that I don't want to do, and that's fine. But I know where I'm going to end up is exactly the miracle that I've been asking for, because we got to put in the work, and this is part of the work. Let's pull our next card from Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light Oracle deck. Pulling our next message for September 2025. Okay, we had a card pop out of the deck. I literally can't make this up. You saw me shuffling. The card is the crumbling. And it came up upside down, which means emphasis for me all the time with this deck. The crumbling. Was I not? Can't make it up, okay? Trust the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? What do you need to stop holding on to? For some of you, it is a relationship that is so rotten. Maybe it feels fine, but you deserve more than fine. It's a relationship with a person. It's a relationship with a job. It's a relationship with a habit, a role, and specifically an identity that you've taken on, that you're just like been cool with and coasting with because nothing's gone like severely wrong. And I'm gonna tell you this right now, not as like a warning. It's coming through that like if you don't accept the crumbling or create the crumbling, some of you need to like push that thing off the cliff 300 style.
This is Sparta!
This is Sparta, bitch. Like kick that shit off the cliff. Sirens for emphasis. So that you can assume the identity, the role, the life, the miracle can come through. It's only going to come through. Like this is also a miracle. The crumbling is also a miracle. This is where you are, and this is what's on the other side of that thing that you really don't want to do. For some of you, it's like a daily action that you don't want to take, which is why I'm starting the Sacred Structure Lab. I'm gonna allow people to come in for 22 days and do whatever it is that you want to do, but make sure that you're committed to it like a sadhana for 22 days straight. And I'm giving folks the opportunity to join me because it's something that I'm doing personally. And I'm like, why don't I share this with the collective? Absolutely. This is amazing. But part of that is the crumbling. God, I can't make this up. I can't make it up. Y'all saw me shuffle the cards and y'all saw it fall out of the deck. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, Spirit, for being so clear. The next card is coming from the Realist Oracle deck by Kendra Austin. Kendra Austin made this beautiful deck. And we're going to pull a card from it for September 2025. Let me shuffle it. But let's see what our third message is for September 2025. Okay, these cards are coming through as compassion cards. The first card that flipped over in the deck is the In Their Shoes card. So just a reminder to put yourself in other people's shoes as you go through this crumbling, expecting a miracle process, like just having compassion, because everybody's going through some crumbling right now. Everybody's going through some sort of crumbling. Not everybody's crumbling is the same. Not everybody's crumbling is going to look like they're totally defeated. Some people wear their crumbling well. Some people are still performing. And I think it does take a little bit of performance. There's some healthy performance that can be done in order for you to exist in the world as you need to, right? We still got to go to work. We still got to do things that we don't want to do, even though we don't want to do them. But putting yourself in people's shoes and being really, really compassionate. The other card is rest. So like having compassion for other people and having compassion with yourself. And the rest card came up upside down. So many sirens. I'm so sorry. I'm not going to edit this out. Like, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. But we're going to keep going. So compassion for others and compassion for self. Giving yourself the rest necessary, because all of this can be really, really strenuous on the nervous system. This can be really, really strenuous on the nervous system. And so giving yourself the rest that you need. There was this great video that I saw that really put in a perfect, just concise, refined way what I've been communicating for years. And I'm going to link it in the description box below. But that the fact that there are so many different types of rest. Not all rest looks like this. It's not all facials and, wine or tea by the bath. Sometimes you need time with people. You need fun. You need intellectual rest. Like, stop looking at your computer screen for work and like take yourself to a museum. Read a book. Paint your nails. Do something creative. Move your body. Like, there are so many different types of rest and nurturing. Give yourself that so that you are more equipped to have compassion for others. This is so, so, so necessary. This is also coming up, the like resourcing yourself by nurturing yourself and giving yourself the different types of rest that you need is going to best equip you to be compassionate with others, and how being compassionate with others right now is really, really important, because even in this crumbling moment of like things falling away and you losing, like really, really going through loss and grieving loss, is going to, you being able to connect with others in a really compassionate way is going to position you to meet people who are going to be very instrumental in your life moving forward. Some of you, this is like real, real, real big. Like, you existing in compassion and like just putting yourself in others' shoes, talking to people, asking really good questions, like nurturing through communication is going to put you in the perfect place moving forward as these miracles are taking place. This is going to make more sense as the month rolls through. But are you catching my drift? Okay. Let's pull our last card. This reading went really fast, but I don't think I need to spend too much time on these messages. They're just really great and succinct and perfect. We're pulling the last card from the Infinite Wisdom of the Chakras deck. Whew. I feel like my insides are on fire. Like, I'm just channeling all this fire energy. I don't know. But let's pull our final card, our final message for September 2025. Okay. 2 cards flew out of the deck. Flew like a bird. The first one being the heart chakra. Did I not just say compassion? Wisdom of love and compassion. Wisdom of love and compassion. So compassion is really, really highlighted here for ourselves and for others. And I do want to highlight that when I think about the heart chakra, when I'm doing a reading and I'm looking in somebody's heart, I not only look at like the wisdom of love and compassion and like self-love and nurturing and all that, but I also look behind the heart in the lung area where we hold. Are you listening? Sirens for emphasis. Where we hold on to grief. I also look at forgiveness. This is a mega moment for forgiveness. I think I already mentioned this when we were going over the Pisces and Virgo eclipses, but this is a major moment of forgiveness, not just for others, so that you can release yourself from certain events and things like that, but for yourself. Okay, this is a mega time of forgiveness for yourself. Forgiving yourself for having existed in a role for so long and not noticing that maybe it was your time to go a couple of eclipses ago. So much compassion with yourself, so much grace for what you didn't know when you didn't know it. Maybe you still won't know it moving forward, and still having compassion with the crumbling and the miracles that are taking place. Okay, so that is coming through. And then the other card that came through, could you be any more literal today? is the Dark Goddess Grief card. Could we get any more specific with this reading? This is insane. Now is a time for sensing grief as a gift from the heart. Now is a time for sensing grief as a gift for the heart. Feeling grief, as somebody who knows grief all too well, feeling grief is a gift in the way that it invites you into a new season of your life. Feeling grief, and in my years of experiencing grief in many different ways, from losing family, close family, my only sibling, to losing opportunities, jobs, relationships in really, really harsh ways, the one umbrella that ties it all together is that grief has always been at the cusp of an entirely new reality for me. Grief has always been at the door of an entirely new life, an entirely new existence. And so truly seeing grief, look at these beautiful green heart colors, grief as an opportunity to start anew. I didn't even read the heart chakra card, but it says, open your heart and see the whole world inside of you. This is part of this like Pisces eclipse energy that we're feeling on the 7th and throughout the whole month. Allowing yourself to experience grief is also a way that we stop performing. Sometimes we perform our way out of feeling grief. I know that I have in the past and still continue to do sometimes. Sometimes I fall in the hole of acting like I'm okay so that I don't have to feel the bad parts of grief, because it can be very hard. But in allowing that crumbling to happen, the miracles come through. Grief is just part of the crumbling, and there's always a miracle on the other side. And on the path of that crumbling, we've got to be compassionate to ourselves and to others. It's part of our path to well-being. It's part of our collective path to well-being. When we are best resourced, we can best serve the world. We can show up in our purpose, in our divine purpose. Okay? And all of that happens via this crumbling. What an absolutely gorgeous reading. Honest to God, I'm going through it so much spiritually and energetically in my life right now that I was like, oh, I don't want to do this reading right now. And I've pushed it to the very last day possible. But I'm so happy that I sat here today and I pulled these cards for us so that we are best aware of all these opportunities that are presenting themselves to us energetically this month. Please let me know in the comments how this resonated with you. I know that this is hitting us all in very different ways. I'm very curious. Let's strike up some conversation in the comments. I haven't done that in a while, where I've been in the comments talking to y'all, but I want to know how this hit you this month, and what you are. I want to know what you're looking forward to. I don't want us to dread a season of crumbling. I want us to look forward to what is on the other side of crumbling and what that looks like for you. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Thank you so much for listening, for watching, for taking into account how these energies are serving you in your life, because it means that you love me. It means that you love the world. And I say that you love me because when you love yourself and when you pay attention, when you are aware, when you take notes, when you write down the reflection prompts and journal prompts and you do the work for yourself, you're also doing your work and existing in a healed and grounded way for the world. And I'm part of that world. And so thank you for loving yourself and for loving me, for loving the world. Let's continue to love the world into existence. There's so much wrong going on in the world, so much disgusting harm going on in the world. When we love the world into existence, we exist as an act of resistance. Bars. With that, I'm going to leave you. I'll see you for the October 2025 energy reading in October. I'll see you on this channel for all the videos that are going to be coming up. I'll see you in my newsletter, where I'm going to be launching the Sacred Structure Lab that is open to everyone to join for 22 days. I will see you here again very, very soon. Sending you love.